Because I'm not wearing headphones.
All right. And we're recording. Welcome to the What's Up Bro podcast. The podcast where we don't say anything inappropriate or politically incorrect.
Well, not if we don't know it's recording, yeah.
Shh, Missy, they don't know what we're talking about. Shh.
Did you just shush me, sir?
Anyways, hold on. I'm trying to.
Did you mute me?
Censorship.
Bish, what did you do?
I didn't mute you.
I don't know. I was muted. I will say, just hot off the presses, Gina Carano is no longer a part of Star Wars.
Dude,
hot off the presses.
Because she
says inappropriate shit.
Oh,
like,
does she?
And she doesn't delete it.
Yeah.
Does
she says it and believes it. And
Yeah.
she equated the persecution of conservatives as the same as Jews being persecuted by the Nazis.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. But she's so hot and great. Why did you do that?
Yeah, she hold on, Mike, let me unmute.
You did mute me.
No, I did it. I did now this time by mistake. My mouse, I have problems with my mouse right now.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, she posted some crazy shit today, and was it today or yesterday? Today, right?
Yeah, either or. I mean, she's
one of these
posted
days.
stuff in the past
Well,
too.
yeah, in the past she's posted shit, but it wasn't attacking a religious group. Like, I don't know how else to say. Like, I don't want to be a dick and be like, she's not. It was against the, because the moment you.
Well, it's also a race, like a Jewish race,
right? But like, I don't know. Like, I guess now you can't talk shit about any religion, really.
Well, you shouldn't. It shouldn't be the.
I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying, what can Hollywood get away with? If you were in Hollywood,
it's not Hollywood. That's the difference. There's a separation between something that is art versus someone's social media posts that's going like, these fucking, Hare Krishnas, because like you can't like, it's her. It's not like her. And also she works for fucking Disney, man.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm not talking about her specifically. I'm saying, like, I'm trying to ask myself, is there a group of people or a religion that an actor, that somebody in Hollywood can say some inappropriate shit about and they not get fired?
The Amish?
Scientology?
Because maybe
Scientology, actually. Because
I think that's it.
And
yeah,
I think the Amish, because they don't watch TV, so who are they going to complain to?
That's that Dave Attell bit, because they're never going to find out about it, man.
I didn't even know that Dave Attell bit, but that's funny.
No, but it's true.
It is true. But I'm trying to think. You can't definitely, like, I'm just trying to think, if you're in Hollywood, saying something about Jewish people is career suicide, right? That's just, I think it's a smarter move to go against Christians at this point. To be like,
maybe she thought that the hot factor would save her from.
No, she's like a
shit for a while now, since
yeah,
before the election. She's like diehard MAGA, and she's been saying crazy shit before the election. And I think and then after the election, she's one of those, like, it was stolen. She was one of those people, and
she's been progressively saying, and you could feel them giving her chances. Like, she for sure got contacted by, hey, we'd like to express, and that kind of in the soft mushy brains of these people, it triggers that like fight back response, as opposed to the, oh yeah, no, maybe it's a good idea that I not get fired. It just happened.
You mean
Jamia Leonard is responding with what?
Jamia.
Yes, Jamia.
What?
Yeah. The accent is on the I. But it's literally just hot 22 minutes ago on Gizmodo.
On the Twits.
But the idea is that she is, like, for sure she got told a bunch and was like, hey, maybe don't leave the Jews out of your social media posts for a little while or something. And genuinely, they were just like, nope. And according to this, it says, in a statement obtained by IO9, a Lucasfilm spokesperson said the following: Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there is no other plans for her to be in the future. That is a bridge well burnt. Nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their culture and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. So not only did they...
What's that word mean? I know
abhorrent?
Yeah, what's that word mean?
Very bad. worthy of repugnation.
You're making the words?
Wait, what does that word mean? What does that word mean?
Okay. This is like... This is like Kevin from Friends. Why use many word when few word do trick?
The Office. Yeah.
You said Friends? You said Kevin from Friends?
Oh, did I say Friends?
Yes.
I meant The Office. You don't remember Kevin from Friends? Could I be any more Joey? Or you don't remember?
No, I'm
you
sorry.
Remember Kevin from Friends with the will they, won't they love affair?
Yeah, that must be the one episode.
Remember in the office? Remember in the office when Mindy Kaling was like, "That's his lobster." She went like that.
Yeah. Rob and Michelle, the will they, won't they of Rob and Michelle. Like
these universes are bleeding into each other, and I can't handle it.
Yeah, but I mean, like this is a. If this is, again, this feels real. I mean, I don't think they would put it out there with real, but a Lucasfilm spokesperson said that not only like, she doesn't work here and will never work here again. And in addition to that, we feel the need to say, fuck those tweets. You know what I mean? Like they went extra. They were like, you're fired forever and fuck you. Yeah.
You're not rehirable. And
there was a bit, I think, I want to say either Family Guy, it has to be Family Guy, where I forgot the setup, but it was something along the lines of like right after World War II, trying to find, like, trying to be an entertainer in Germany right after World War II, and they were we need to get you an agent. Oh, we don't have any. Like, you don't have an agent? No. What about a lawyer? No. What about and then it just like every stereotypical Jewish occupation kept being mentioned. And like, why aren't they? And it was one of those, and I forget again the context. I forget the setup to it, but I remember that punchline, and I was like, Jesus, guys, take it easy. Like, fuck.
There's a lot going on that in that joke, but that's the thing. If you do. That's the whole thing. If it's on purpose to make a point, like my best example for the way someone who does it right is Anthony Jeselnik, right? You've worked with him. He's the nicest dude.
I was about to say that. I was gonna let you finish your story, but on top of it, he is the nicest guy ever. And then when we were talking about Justified, the TV show, which is one of my all-time favorite shows of. And he was like, dude, I was crying watching the series finale, and I was like crying, and this was like minutes within meeting him, so I have this like his stage persona in my head, and he's telling me he cried at a TV show that I love and watch and cried at, and I'm like, this doesn't come fucking puke.
Let us watch this together. We will cry together, Anthony Jeselnik. Come cry with me.
In my head, I was like, what? Were you crying because you were making fun of them? Like I didn't.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't. It was like seconds within meeting him, and then but he's the nicest dude.
I wasn't even on the show. I was there to hang out with you, and I was trying to get a guest spot back when you could do that. And I was there like when you were there, I think, and at the Hollywood
Fort Lauderdale,
Fort Lauderdale, and I was just standing there, and then he was just by the bar, and I'm like, oh hey, what are you doing? He's like, oh, are you on the show? And I'm like, nah, I'm just hanging out. My friend is performing. And then he was just like, oh, cool. And he was the most, nice dude. Then you cut to his material, right? Yes. And like the fire at I always mess up the title of that most recent fire at a baby hospital or something. What is it? Like fire in the maternity ward. And and it's like these jokes are made to be inflammatory and insensitive and like fuck you and abrasive, but they're done in a way that is like funny. and it's like a performance, and it's
and
good.
it's also at a point in a comedy club, like in the confines of like, hey, in a setting of like this is meant to be a joke, and it's clear as day that these are meant to be jokes. But yeah, Gina Carrera, I was literally reading tweets about, like, I have a friend who's like one of, and Missy, she doesn't know this guy, but it's like one of the most super Star Wars nerds that I've ever. He has a podcast dedicated to everything Star Wars, and he talks shit that I'm just like, I don't know. But he was talking about how Gina Carrero's tweets are like, so, you know, and then like reading his shit, I got to be like, what did she say now? Like, I was one of those like, and then I started reading up, and I was like, is she still, like, all I could find on her when I Googled her today was that there's a supposedly plans for her character to have her own spin-off show on.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Wait, no, that's not true, because it could still be her character. It just doesn't have to be her.
It might be young her or older her or
Why?
something.
Could recast her.
Who gives a shit? Nobody. She ain't that big.
No, I liked her. Here's the thing: the
I
potential
love her
for that.
in The Mandalorian. Don't get me wrong, but if you recast her, I'm not gonna be like, how dare you?
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, sure, fine, yeah, we'll get somebody else. Fuck her.
Yeah.
But the idea, like, I mean, I would let her fuck me. I mean, like, that's the Gina Carano way.
Good question. I recently, going through Instagram, found out that 3 of the last, obviously before my wife, but 3 women that I had sex with in the past are now MAGA people. And I won was like, am I what? Like, it made me think like, that's because I don't have a big number like behind me. I don't have like,
It's a high percentage. It's a
decent percentage. It's a fucking decent percentage. And I was like, wow. And then I thought to myself, well, maybe that's why they're exes. Maybe that's why they.
Maybe you sensed some bullshit there.
Again, this was 15 years. My latest, my last ex-girlfriend is 15 years ago. So who fucking? But I'm just saying, like, in my mind, I'm like, that's.
I'm trying to find. You know how these articles.
And then I thought to myself, if everything, like, if I wasn't married, will I still? Then I got that question: would you have sex with somebody who you found physically attractive, but you found morally corrupt?
Again?
Perfect answer. That's it. That's the
like more than once, like continuously.
All right, hold on. Let me write this down. That's the ad. All right, that's 12 minutes. And just make that the ad for 12 minutes again.
Well, I mean, yeah, I will say I have been with women who got real churchy after me. Because I dated someone who got real churchy after me, and then it was like, you know, a boost to the ego.
Mia definitely would.
Yeah.
I don't think there are a lot of guys that wouldn't.
Jamia, being a person of color, would you? This is a question to anybody in the panel, but Jamia is a person of color. Would you have sex with an outright racist, with somebody who you knew like this person's a racist?
We'll give
Jamia
a moment to answer, but the idea of like out and out, like I have turned girls down who are like beautiful, but then it's like the second I had a girl that was super rude to a waiter one time, and she was a knockout, but I was like, ugh, you know, like, bleh. But it's after.
Why am I single? Because she was angry about her ranch. Like,
no. She was a real see you next Tuesday to the fucking waitress. She was a real piece of shit to the waitress, and I was like shocked.
It was one time. Was it one time?
No, it was like the whole time. Do they have
Jamia said, do they have a fat ass?
I don't know any races that
Jamia, they have a fat ass, but they have a swastika tattooed on that fat ass.
Oh my god, this is getting too real.
That reminds me of in Community.
Too real? What do you know with a fat ass with a swastika on it?
I know, it's just the imagery. I'm saying the imagery is getting too real.
What?
Calm down.
Do you remember that episode of Community? It's one of my favorite episodes where they find the trampoline. And they have that guy there, and he has a swastika tattoo. How do we not know that he was racist? And then they do all the flashbacks, and then they show him with the swastika tattoo, and all he says is, oh, it's gonna be a maze. It's just not finished yet. And I remember laughing so fucking hard at that.
That's hilarious.
God, that show was so good. But yeah, like that show did a lot of super aggressive stuff and very out there stuff with women and like the dean being this, like the whole gay dean episode where he's like, Dean, you're gay, right? And he's like, oh, gay doesn't even begin to explain it. And they go into like all like that show was next level and they did it right. You know, like you could still do shit. Like it's just that everyone's the level of the comedy is higher.
That's not the question I was asking. The original question was, can an actor on Twitter or in an interview say some outlandish shit about is there a race or religion that they can say some crazy shit about, they still keep their job in this day and age?
No, forget about keeping your job. Like they're maybe Jamia Leonard says maybe I make them unracist. But that's the power of that the pure sexual energy to convert the racism.
Wouldn't it be weird though? Wouldn't it be hilarious if the lady was like, she now goes on tour and does like seminars where she's trying to talk people out of like, no, I too used to be like you. And then I realized I was wrong. And then somebody goes, how? And they're like, well, I got a big black dick in me. And then I realized something is awesome and this can't be wrong.
Yeah.
And if loving this is wrong, then I don't want to be right. Like some crazy shit.
Like straight out of Blazing Saddles. There's you know what, you're right. There is not that there is there a group, but the fact that someone would go after any group and be like super specifically angry about what, like, these fucking Mennonites, like, or screws, like, screw this this gated community specifically in my neighborhood that is, like, it's so, like, at a certain point you're just mad at a guy, and then that guy, you pick out whatever demographic he fits into and you'll be like, yeah, fuck all black people because of Kevin, like,
because of Kevin.
Yeah,
because of Kevin.
I do. Jamia says that he's that's his theory that he's gonna turn them. So real quick before we got real into the Gina Carano. I don't want to mispronounce a racist lady's name. Sorry.
It won't matter by tomorrow.
We need to send Jamia over to Gina Carano. That's what we need. I mean, I guess if that's the plan, let's test this hypothesis.
Yeah, but
I just imagine him packing his bags right now. Like, I'm ready. Let's go.
But we should have done that like 2 weeks ago.
Right. Yeah, we should have done that last year, 2020. Have her become in a quarantine pod with Jamia, and then just let things develop naturally.
So can I just tell you, I know Jamia and I are in the minority, but both figuratively and literally, because his statement, he says that Blazing Saddles is a shit movie with a few great scenes. And I've said that myself. And I always I know I'm left alone on an island because nobody agrees with me, but apparently Jamia does.
Jamia's wrong. You're wrong. Jamia's wrong. Everybody who hates Blazing Saddles is wrong.
I hate it. I just don't think it's funny. I don't think it deserves the credit that it does. I think Spaceballs is way better.
Oh, I'm not comparing it to anything. It's fun.
I'm comparing it to Mel Brooks, other Mel Brooks movies. So my question is, going back. So before we got into this conversation, I was going to bring up the Super Bowl. Right, it seems kind of dumb now to bring up the Super Bowl now because fucking Mike is so mad. Why are you mad at the Super Bowl?
I hate a boring Super Bowl, man. It's supposed to be. But
it wasn't boring the first half. The first half was like, all right, and then
no, the first half was the beating, and then the second half was like, stop, he's already dead. Like. Like the first half, you were just watching a team get beat, where you're like, "Oh, okay."
No, but you were watching a team get beat, and the hit because of the history of the Chiefs. Speaking as a 49er fan, I could attest to this. They could come back from a 10-point deficit, and you
maybe.
Go, okay. No, not maybe. They've done it before. They did it against the Niners in the Super Bowl last year.
Right, but it's not guaranteed.
Because
did you go to the Super Bowl last year?
Last year when it was good. And so that was like the way I watched the Super Bowl. I was like, yeah, the first half is good. They're gonna come back. I was still afraid. Like I wanted Tampa Bay to win, but I was still afraid because yeah. You don't have that fear because Mahomes hasn't done that to your fucking team. I have that fear because Mahomes did that to my fucking team, and I was like, I've seen this movie before. I don't want to get my
I've
hopes up.
seen how this ends.
And then Tom Brady took the field for the third quarter, and he was like, "I'm just gonna score 2 quick touchdowns real quick," and then you're like, "Oh no, I don't think it's possible now."
Yeah, I'm just gonna put this in the bag real quick, guys. Did you see how fucking drunk he was today?
Oh,
What a my!
What a
Can we
Florida man video.
Can we? Is there a way to share video through this?
there is, but I actually have to have the embedded video. I have to have the video itself on.
You can't watch. You can't do like a YouTube link or something.
No.
But
if I had a video, yeah. But he was so wasted, and I love his tweet afterwards. Did you see his tweet?
Something about avocado.
No, he said nothing to see here, but it was all misspelled. Like I think it was purposely misspelled. And it was like just a little drinky drink or some crazy shit like that to that effect, where it was like, oh, okay, he gets it. But it's like, hey man, welcome to Florida, motherfucker. That's how we do shit.
I mean, like the here's the thing. I'm mad at all of the like. It's hard for me to separate the medical shit from the fact that like trying to have a normal life and all that stuff. But like they were like honoring the healthcare workers by having a super spreader event. You know what I mean? Like
those people were vaccinated. The people in the stadium were vaccinated. Like you had to show.
Not all of them.
I saw
the healthcare workers were not all vaccinated, but most of them were. But like
I saw a thing where they had to get checked. Their vaccinations had to get checked like 8 times before they even got into the stadium.
Are you talking about but I'm also talking about like everybody else in that stadium.
Who's everybody else? The fans? I'm talking about the fans.
I'm talking about, well, that's the thing. It's not just the fans. The people who are working at the stadium who have to let them in. The people who serve
those people had to get vaccinated to work their stadium. That was a thing. That was like one of the stipulations to work it. You have to, yeah.
They suddenly get bumped up the priority list of getting vaccinated because they're going to work the security desk at the Super Bowl.
It's the reason why a couple of years ago, the fucking government came back. Remember when the government was on strike or whatever the fucking phrasing that they used where the government was like,
the shutdown?
And the shutdown and TSA, whatever, was like, oh, and it went on for fucking 2 months. And then all of a sudden, the week before the Super Bowl, they were like, oh, shit, we need people to be able to travel. And then the fucking shit immaculately magically got lifted. Oh, and then everybody, the fucking Senate went back to work.
Yeah, but I'm talking about physically. They could not vaccinate all of the people that had to be. You know what I mean? Like, there's just too many people that. Judge
is back
there. Loved Gina's character on the show, but seeing her actual character just frustrating to see other racist Latino. She's Latino. I thought she was Italian. Giving the rest of us a bad rep. Because people don't see the person, like you said, they see the ethnicity. Yeah, no, I think she's Italian, and I think
how quickly we disown that motherfucker real so quick. Like,
I mean,
prior to the racist comments, you're like, oh, she's Italian. Somebody would have told you a year ago, Gina Carano is Hispanic. You're like, cool, one of us made it. And now, like, she's Italian, she's Hispanic. We're like, whoa.
Brother, I have a whole show about calling out fucking right-wing Cubans and making fun of them.
I think she's Italian. I don't think she's with us.
I would claim her if she was still. There's plenty of fucking racist Latinos.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Of course.
Oh, that's an interesting point, Jamia. This is the first time that Tom Brady's had fun after a Super Bowl because he worked for Bill Belichick, who was like this notorious tyrant with his team,
Well, did you hear what his coach said? They asked his coach and they said there were times where throughout the season where Tom would text him on a Wednesday or like, I guess Tuesday, and says for talking about Wednesday saying, do you mind if I don't throw today? And he said, yeah, I don't give a shit. Like he would literally respond with, yeah, I don't give a shit. And then he would apparently Bruce Arians said in New England he wasn't allowed to coach, and I didn't give a shit. If he wanted to coach, I would let him sometimes I would just sit back and watch him like he would just literally be coaching on the sidelines or whatever.
Tom Brady would be coaching?
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Wow.
Would just be coach, and then the coach would let him. And then that's something that Bill Belichick never let them do. He never let him coach him. I was like, holy shit.
I still don't think of Tom Brady as good as like his fans think of it. Like, but
7 Super Bowl rings. Like, don't fucking believe the hype.
I don't believe that one person can win a Super Bowl. Like the Tampa Bay Bucks defense destroyed
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes.
However, AB and Gronk were there because of Tom Brady. They got there after Tom Brady signed with the Bucks, and they went there specifically to work with Tom Brady.
But it's not because, that's
the Tom Brady effect, bro. When you get those people high quality
that want to work with him,
it's like when wherever LeBron goes, other free agents want to go with them because they want to fucking win championships. And
but that doesn't necessarily mean that his skill level is like this next level thing.
If those other star athletes believe it,
right,
then they will go there. So
yeah. So he's good at marketing himself. No, he's one of the best football players of all time. There's no denying it.
Is she Italian, Missy?
I googled it, and there's no information on her nationality. Just that she was born in Dallas, and they raised her in New Mexico, but no confirmation as where she's from. I could keep looking. It wasn't her coochie, you freak.
It wasn't her coochie, Jamia. Jamia asked, have you guys seen the girl who used Gorilla Tape on her coochie? And it wasn't, first of all, it was Gorilla Glue.
Right.
Gorilla Tape.
Are you drunk?
And then, maybe he's hanging out with Tom Brady right now.
Yeah. That's going to be my new euphemism for getting drunk is like, he's been hanging out with Tom Brady over there. And just
By the way, Tom Brady's tweet says nothing to see her ... just little avocado tequila.
First of all, he said nothing.
It is nothing. I don't mean to brag, but I'm a really great speller even when I'm drunk. Which is a weird flex.
That's a weird flex, man. That's a weird you can't even tell that I'm drunk because my spelling is this shit.
Probably if like I go off and I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? And it's like a random reason, I'm probably drunk. I
do enjoy when someone tries to bypass the drunk texting by using speech to text. And then you get like an assortment.
Jamia saying no. There is in fact a girl that used.
I'm gonna Google this and I'm gonna regret it, I'm sure.
Nobody ever regretted Googling coochie.
Yeah.
As like wax?
I don't know. Drunk Drunk Missy. Vanessa says Drunk Missy is my favorite. I agree. I like Drunk Missy.
I am a lot of fun.
I will tell you this. Missy and I have mutual friends that are so bad at texting, we can never tell if they were to text and type, because we would be like, yeah, that's just regular her or him, whichever one it may be.
You're fucking awful at this, bro.
Check your messages. He sent me a link, apparently. I think that what the ring was. That was probably what that ring was.
Well, I can't find anything on Gorilla Tape, but there is a girl.
Yeah. Somebody do a recall on all Gorilla products.
That's just so stupid.
Wait, what?
The girl the one that used it on her scalp, she's working with a plastic surgeon because it messed up her scalp.
Well,
she still can't get it out.
There's an element of, I don't want to see this. Oh, is it blocked out?
Yeah, it's blocked. What are you thinking?
Why? What is she? What? So what was the end game?
The end game was that she was gonna wax herself
with Gorilla Tape.
Yes, that was the end game.
Yeah, she deserves everything she gets.
This is why I'm convinced that aliens have bypassed our planet. They're like, you know what? They're gonna fucking kill themselves. Like we'll come back when it's done. How
can we trust them with the science to travel the universe if they can't even handle Gorilla Tape properly? Gorilla Products is the alien subsidiary that they've planted on the earth to test people out.
Do this, you're right.
If they can, it's like, some lady glued her hair to her head and then fucking Gorilla Taped her. What happened?
Here's the thing. Gorilla Products are not new.
No, at all.
They've been in the market for a long time. I don't understand why now people are like it's not one of those things where it's like, hey, there's a new product called Gorilla Glue, and you're like, oh, well, I could put that on my hair. It's not. It's been around forever.
There's
Gorilla Snot. That is actually a hair care product.
Yeah, my son uses it. My son
Yeah.
uses it. It's moco de gorilla. Yeah.
But the idea of the okay, so here's the
Why
thing.
would you want to use something called boogers on your hair?
Well, because it's sticky. It's like supposed to hold your hair
it's
better.
like a better
No,
than
It's
gel?
a marketing thing. Why is like men's bathing products made like Grizzly Oak or whatever? You know, like who knows what the
I
fuck?
don't know,
Like they
but-
just all marketing. But
why do you want to wear underwear that has fruit on it? Who gives a shit? Like
yeah. But the spray, so she had that hair that got to be glued, which is a hair thing, and it's a spray. And then she said that she accidentally used the Gorilla Glue spray because she's like, I was out of that. Let me just use this because she thought it was another glue, got to be glued product or something like that. She's like, whatever, I'll just glue it down. And then it was like she sprayed it. But the thing is that why are you keeping those two things so close together? You know what I mean? Like
I was brushing my teeth the other day, and then I was like, "Oh shit, I ran out of mouthwash." So I just grabbed the gasoline, and I just took it. Like I just took a swig of it, and like, oh, a gasoline should not be in your kitchen.
Clorox cleans bathtubs. It might as well clean my porcelains. Why not? Well, you know, I use it to clean the porcelain in the toilet. Why not? You know, like let me shine up. I've heard of bleaching your teeth. Let's do it. Meanwhile,
Oh no, I want to disagree. But I feel like this girl is young enough where she's considered Gen Z. I feel like she's in that generation, and they've been coming out after millennials and elder millennials
for like that.
No, just busting our balls on TikTok. Like if you're over 25, this, that, and the other. Like apparently now it's not cool for women to have, like if you have a side part, that means you're old. If you use the wrong emoji, it's like fuck you. Like
people got too much time on their hands.
I have like crippling student debt and anxiety. Like get the fuck off my dick with your bullshit. And plus, your generation eats Tide Pods, and now they're using Gorilla Glue. So you know what I mean? Like clean your house before you come after mine. It burns like Listerine.
I'll tell you this. The age.
She really hates Listerine, by the way. She really hates Listerine.
Your wife?
That was my wife, and everything. Like we saw a Listerine commercial the other day. She's like, "But it fucking burns." It fucking.
I mean, it's yeah.
And that's what I said. I'm like, that's the point. It burns off the germs. Like, isn't it the fucking point of it? She's like,
no, they sell stuff that has like less alcohol that doesn't burn, because that is what it is. It's burning you. That it's not supposed to, like you can't do that too much.
I like Scope. I feel like
Scope is not as bad. That Cool Mint Listerine, that blue Listerine is fucking like fire.
Still the best commercial for any mouthwash, right? Is the fucking Listerine, the swinging.
Yeah.
Missy, you don't know what we're talking about?
No.
That's because of these millennials, man. They don't fucking get it. What I was gonna say before we were interrupted by the comment thing. What I was gonna say is that it does all of this age breaking. How specific do we have to get? Specific?
I'm not claiming her.
Sorry, Mike.
I mean, come on. How specifically do you have to break up someone's age before it's like, hey, man, that's not an excuse anymore? You know what I mean? Like, it has nothing to do with how old she is. She's just a dummy. You know, she fucked up. She made a mistake, and now she's dealing with it. You know, like how it's not about like these kids don't know how to use a fucking rotary phone anymore. Nobody does. No one has to do that anymore.
Yeah,
you're old.
Technology expired, you know what I mean? like when we were kids.
It's interesting to think about how far we've come, but yeah, it's not. There's no. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit?
Mike, what was it? What was the phrase that you used? What was it the PDF one? What was it?
Yeah, rotate a PDF for me, and then fucking we'll talk. Rotate a PDF. That concept of like when people get on you about something else, it's like, all right, man, I know how to use a fucking, like just because like New York versus Miami, when people give shit about like people like not knowing how to ride the train or whatever, like whatever, it's like, yeah, because they don't fucking live here, you idiot. Like they don't know. You can't just expect someone to magically know things. And like geography and age are like the dividing factors about like when you would have been exposed to something. You know what I mean? Like snow. Like I don't know how to drive in the snow, right? And if I get a car, there's fucking feet of snow piled up on the side of the streets now. I would have to learn how to drive. I wouldn't just magically know how to drive. I'd have to like figure it out and learn how to do it. And it would take time, and I might get into an accident. Who knows? But like you can't just be like, oh, what the fuck? You don't know how to drive in snow? No, I do not. I don't. I'm from Miami. Put me on a boat and then we'll talk. But I can't, I don't know.
I went to when I was in El Paso. The first time I went to El Paso was like 14 years ago, and it was fucking cold as fuck at night, right? And we're outside selling merch, right? It was me and Willie Barcena. We're outside selling merch, and I'm like in a t-shirt, and I'm fucking like just like doing this shit, like I'm fucking and I'm not fucking trembling, but I'm like
right,
like doing this shit. And I don't know if you ever remember that comedian. He passed away. I can forget his name right now, but he had that joke where he was like, anyways, or he would say that fucking, what was that word that he used? Regardless. Regardless, he had that bit. It was a famous bit where he was like, regardless, like that's how people talk when they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But he just and he's talking about Latino people in general, and he was like, regardless. He's like, what? That doesn't even mean that. Regardless, we gotta go change the tire. He's like, what are you talking? Regardless. So he passed away, right? I forget his name right now. I'm drawing a blank, but he passed away. But his dad was there, right? And his dad, super cool guy, very proud of his son, had a shirt with the fucking word regardless embroidered on his fucking jean shirt.
Wow, that's cool.
That's a good dad.
Like, that's a good dad, right?
Yeah.
I wish my dad would go to places with cupcakes on his fucking like that would be great. So anyways, I'm outside, we're selling merch and I'm doing this shit, and he's like, it's not cold, son. And I'm like, okay. Like in my mind, I'm just like, how are you gonna tell me?
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I'm from Miami and I'm not used to this. So I told her, I'm from Nicaragua and I live in Miami all my life. I'm like, this is fucking cool to me. Like, I don't care what you say. This is fucking cool.
Or yeah, I hate that shit. Like that happens up here too when someone's like bundled up and like, oh, you're cold. It's like, yes, I am. I have my own nerve endings. You have your own nerve endings. We'll keep them separate and we'll process them separately. And I will determine the results of my processing, and you determine the results of your processing.
I have a question, Mike.
Yeah.
Do you feel like I've heard this on the TikTok, so that's why I'm asking you. People on TikTok say that people from New York act like they're in a cult, like it's New York and then it's everyone else. And you as a
it's
Miami
the biggest
in New
city.
York.
It's the biggest city in the world, and that means that there's at any given time like there's like 8 million people that live here, and then in and out is like another 8 million per day. So at any given moment, there's 16 million people at a peak in New York City limits.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of people who live in or around New York City, and there is a very real thing about Neri knows people that have come up here to try and make it and don't make it, and they end up having to go back home. Like New York is not as forgiving as
but
places.
It's still a us versus them mentality.
But what I was gonna say is that it's like when like I don't want to in no way am I equating the two. I'm making a comparison to show similarities, but like when soldiers train together, or like they were in like if you went through a difficult situation with somebody and you bond over that. Like have you ever been around a bunch of fucking Latinos and they bond over child abuse that they suffered when they were children?
No.
You know what I mean? The injuries that you received when you were a kid, and like, oh my god, I got this when I fell, and I got this.
We did it with Angelina Castro. That was she was like,
yeah.
I get it.
There's a camaraderie in New York that's a little bit thicker because of...
It's just a shared experience, it's like anything else, but because there's so many people and it's this big draw that it becomes like the brightest light on that board of whatever trauma bonding. Good, Vanessa, thank you. That concept of like going through something or like some people go too far, and then there are like the like fucking people who
like
live here for 6 months and then they call it. Well, no, the ones that live here forever, but they live here for like 5 minutes and then they go back home and then they talk about how they're a New Yorker and they lived here forever. And it's like, and then there is like a bit of a I've been here like almost 8 years, and it's like a chip on my shoulder where I'm just like, yeah, all right. Like easy. You spent a summer here because of, you did like half a semester and then you went back home, like chill. That kind of shit that's the kind of shit that gets like exaggerated.
One of my favorite moments about this topic is Oni, my friend Oni, our friend Oni, my goodness. when we were talking one time, and then he said, "Oh yeah, that guy is from the city," and he said the city, and I was like, "What fucking city?" Like,
No, city.
but he said the city. Like, we weren't in New York when he said this. We were fucking talking in separate cities, and he goes, "He's from the city," and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about, the city?"
And the city specifically means Manhattan, really.
And it bothered me when he said the city, and I was like, "Can you?" Because when again, if him and I were both in New York or we were both in Brooklyn, and we one said to the other, "The city," we know what that means, but you can't say that to somebody who's in another city and say the city. And I'm like,
It's probably reflexive, you know, like he just.
And so I was like, so I made fun of him, and he was like, ask anybody, the city is New York. And I'm like, get the fuck. I'm like, to New Yorkers, sure, but that's not the fucking city to everybody.
Yeah.
But aren't the boroughs like their own city, or am I crazy?
No. New York City contains the 5 boroughs.
Yeah, the 5 boroughs.
Okay.
So you know, Manhattan, the Bronx,
Queens is its own city.
No.
Or is
No. New York City contains it's like saying Miami contains Kendall and
okay, got it.
Yeah.
They have 5 cool ones, and we have the shit.
So here's the thing, like New York City is technically spread over 5. The boroughs, you would consider them counties. So like there's Queens County and then Kings County. You know, like Brooklyn is Kings County, and then like Staten Island is a separate borough and all that stuff. So the city itself is larger than the county, kind of. It's tricky, but it's like how the boroughs are spread, if you think about it that way.
Hey, it's tricky.
Yeah.
Sorry, that song stuck in my head.
The idea of like being from the city, because even to New Yorkers, like if you're going into the city, you're going into Manhattan. I live in Queens and I'm going into the city. You know, like it took me a minute to adjust it. And then when I say go north or south in Manhattan, you don't say, you say you go uptown, you go downtown. And then there's just different things that you use the same way. That this happens on Oh the Cubanity all the time, where we talk about how the bubble of Miami exists super hard. Like people in Miami, like,
I think the bubble exists anywhere you live, bro.
I've lived other places, you know, like I've lived here in New York, and then Chris lives in Dallas, and I've talked to people in California who've moved out of Miami, and it is a infinite. There's something like forget bubble. It's a fucking force field that does not allow things in or out in Miami. Yeah. It's the hex. The hex is on. Can we
talk about WandaVision?
Sure.
Yeah, yes, bro. I'm caught up. Hell yeah.
This is like.
Are you watching all of the YouTube videos that try to get all the Easter eggs and crack
I do Google. I allow myself one article to look up Easter eggs after I'm done watching. But
I have 2 friends who are relentlessly tell me the Easter eggs whether I ask for it or not, and I'm grateful for it. No, I'm grateful to them. Jeff, I don't know if he's still on here. Jeff, Jeff is one of them. But yeah, I have 2 friends who like tell me all the Easter eggs, whether I want to or not. But I do want to, but I don't ask for it. But they're like, "Did you notice this?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I didn't notice that." But it's so funny because when they bring it up, I go, "Oh shit, that is cool." Like I'm always that. And Jeff and I were having this conversation when he was like, "Hey, did you get the Lagos commercial? Did you understand it?" And I was like, "No." And then I even said, he goes, "Oh," and I even said it. I go, "I'm not gonna be that guy that's gonna be like, yeah, I get it, but you tell me what you get."
Yeah. No,
because we have a mutual friend that's like, "I understood everything. I caught every Easter egg," and I'm like, "Okay, bro." So I'm like, "No, just tell me what it is." So he explained to me the metaphor or whatever, and I was like, "Oh, okay," because I knew Lagos was the city that they fucked up in Africa, but to me, I was just like, "Oh, African paper towel." No thanks.
No. All of the commercials have a thing that are like moments in her life. You know, like that she, like the first one with the toaster makes the same noise as the Stark Industries bomb.
Yeah.
And so that's the signifier of like the thing that killed her parents. And then the Strucker watch is when she was being experimented on by Strucker, and then with the thing that gave her powers. Or people are saying that unlocked her powers. There's things that saying
how it's so funny because you and I kind of nailed it, not for nothing, but we fucking nailed it. 2 weeks ago, Mike and I were talking, and we recorded the day before the new episode aired. That new episode aired,
Yeah.
episode 3, I think it was, or episode 4. And then now after episode 4 and 5, if you go back to listen to WuBro 296, which we recorded before episodes 4 and 5 of Wanda came out, we fucking hit it pretty hard on the head. And the only thing that I didn't nail, as far as, because I said, I'm like, this is a way to introduce mutants into the MCU. This is perfect. Do it fucking now. And I just picked Wolverine, and they picked fucking
It makes sense. They picked Quicksilver.
good, so good, right?
It makes I will tell you this. So I was on my break at work watching this because I've been working a lot. So that's my like escape. I'll put my headphones in, I'll disappear on my break, and I literally had my phone up to my face with like my jaw. Thank God I was wearing a mask, because I was like, oh my God, because it took me a second to process everything, because I knew that it wasn't the Quicksilver from this universe. And then I knew that it was not the Quicksilver from this universe, but it took me a second to process it, because when Kat Dennings' character, Darcy, doctor, whatever, Darcy Lewis, she goes, they recast Pietro. I'm like, yes, that's right. Like it all clicked. And
Wait a minute. You didn't know that was fucking...
It didn't fully like hit me.
I immediately was like, oh, that's yeah, I immediately knew.
No, but what I'm saying is that I was like, oh, that's the guy from the X-Men, Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's the guy from the X-Men. Oh wow. Oh my God, that's the guy from the, like, oh shit. Like it took us, it was like in the cartoons when they do a double take. It was like that, where it was like what? You know, like, oh shit. And then the implication of what all that really means hit me real hard.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh my God. And then it just kind of unlocked this thing of like, so I think she's like, all of the multiverses that are happening post Endgame haven't been fixed yet by the putting the Infinity Stones back, and all of the stuff that Cap is supposed to be doing later on, like in the time jumpy thing. I think all the multiverses are split, and she pulled from, because she wanted her brother to be alive so much, but they had just gone through that whole thing with the kids saying you can't bring people back from the dead. It's like, no, but I'm going to bring people from the living and find him somewhere, and it connected to him and yanked him into this dimension in the TV show that she's controlling. So he comes in, and then the other thing that I read, I didn't realize this, it could be Mephisto or somebody pretending to be this guy, which I don't think is what it is, but that's another theory that's been bounced.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me. My opinion would be, I don't want it to be Mephisto. I want
I don't either.
Legit, But I think I don't want Vision to be alive anymore. I think he should be fucking dead.
Well, I don't think he should be.
I think that's a cop out. I think I'm okay with her doing all of this, whatever, in her reality. But I don't. At the end of this, I don't want Vision to be alive.
I don't think he's going to make it.
He's going to be. No.
No. But 2 weeks ago, Mike, you said Vision's back, baby. Like, you thought that she brought this mother. You were.
Oh, what I'm saying is, he's gonna be. Vision will still be a character, but he's not gonna be the same Vision. He's gonna be that grayed out Vision that they had in like the 90s. Where it was, they downloaded someone else's brain into him, and then it became this other version of Vision. So I definitely think that he's still going to be a character after this, but he's going to be that grayed out, like, dead character. That the dead version, he's going to be dead, but he's going to be undead. He's going to be undead Vision, in my opinion.
She's going to lose him again, and it's going to be 10 times worse. I really like what they're doing with, like, her grief. Is just chef's kiss. I just love what they're doing with it, and I think that at the end she's gonna lose everything. I mean, this is my opinion. I don't know for sure. I don't have any facts.
We're all just guessing. I mean,
I think that she's gonna lose everything from that world, and it's gonna make it even, like, the impact of that is gonna make, like, how if she is pulling people from other universes by mistake, the impact of her losing everything, I think, is gonna be the thing that's gonna make all the multiverses, like, bleed into each other, and that's gonna be fucking great.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
I think that it's going to be an issue of whether or not it's going to be which big arc they choose, because they're going to do Secret Wars eventually, and all of the that battle world. I think this is going to cause some sort of like well, it's going to lead directly. We know this is fact. We know it's going to lead into Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, which is supposed to feature Scarlet Witch or Wanda Maximoff very prominently. Like, they brought her out with Benedict Cumberbatch, like, hey, these are the two stars of the movie. So I mean, I'm pretty sure there's going to be something like that. There's going to be like something where the merging of all of these multiverses is going to be a very big like a world-altering hurdle, a world-altering event.
Do you think Elizabeth Olsen is richer than her sisters now?
No way, not even close.
Really?
Yeah.
The Olsen twins are billionaires.
Yeah,
and they were billionaires like
Look
20 years ago.
Wait, billion?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so. Hold on, let me look.
Wow.
I'm very confident that they are, because 20 years ago, when they were breaking out into like the socialite world, they had already made all of their money, not just from their kid stuff, but on fashion, like luxury brands and shit like that. Plus, I think one and or both of them have married very, very, very rich.
They disappeared from the spotlight.
Okay, the Olsen twins aren't billionaires. Their fashion empire is worth $1 billion. But that's like debatable on what that really means. According to, let's see, hold on.
Yeah, I mean, like the CEO of Carnival Cruise Lines.
Yeah, isn't worth the worth. Yeah,
the worth of the fucking cruise.
Well,
line.
then I guess yeah, that just roll over what I said to what Mike said.
Sure, I'm trying to find. They just Oh man, they bury it in the article. I just want to know.
They disappeared, right? They disappeared. Like
they voluntarily disappeared. They were given an option to participate in Fuller House, and they declined it.
How would that work, though? How would that work? There's two of them, and how would that work?
But they worked the twin thing into the Full House a couple of times. They could have done it.
With their cousin from Greece? That would have like
one time, and then they did it in the earlier seasons of Full House when Michelle ran away, and there was like the good Michelle and bad Michelle. They worked both of them into that.
Yeah, but that's a one episode gimmick. Like, how are you gonna work that into a whole like season?
No,
I didn't say I had all the answers. I'm just telling you it could fucking work.
Elizabeth Olsen is worth $11 million. That's her personal net worth, according to this website. So I don't even know. I don't even know.
We can always.
I'll be right back. I gotta run to the bathroom.
What I really like about Elizabeth Olsen in the WandaVision thing is that she is showing her range so perfectly. Like, I'm excited to see what she does outside of this character going forward, because I feel like the roles that are gonna come her way are gonna be like really good.
Do you feel La Pobre?
Yes.
Do you feel like I specifically like the fact that in the last episode of WandaVision, or the most current episode of WandaVision, they had her doing 80s sitcoms, and I'm like, oh, it's like your sisters.
Yeah, they were cheeky about
that.
Yeah,
all I thought about was like, oh, like your sisters, like the twins, and
yeah,
your sisters did that, right? That's the whole thing. Your sisters did.
I think she may have caught on to that, BFF. I don't think it was like an Easter egg that she had to figure out.
I mean, her sisters were babies in the 80s. I mean, so it would be like, it's not the same thing. In the 90s would be, I guess, the next episode. Are they gonna do Friends? You think they're gonna do Friends?
I don't know.
They have to do an episode. I think it's gonna be Seinfeld, because they have to do
whatever Disney has rights to. I don't think Disney has rights to mimic. I mean, I guess
I don't think they have rights to mimic Lucy. Like, I love Lucy. That's almost
true.
Yes.
I don't know anything about
I think the 90s. Mike, what we're saying, what sitcom do we think the next episode is gonna be in? And since the next episode is the 90s, my opinion, my guess is that it's gonna be Seinfeld, because it has to be mostly in the house, right? And it has to be a show that takes place either mostly in the house. So it's either gonna be Seinfeld would be perfect because it would be 4 characters, right? You have those kind of characters already living in the same house, or maybe friends, because that's also primarily in an apartment.
They should do Buffy, since Joss Whedon is on his way fucking out. Just gonna finish cashing that shit in.
That is another big deal about. Oh, wow, yeah. Apparently, so much is coming out.
We have no heroes.
I was gonna say the reason why I say this is because in the trailers there is a moment where Wanda is talking directly to the camera. And I think they're gonna do My So-Called Life or Party of, like those single camera.
Missy's face. Oh my god! I just saw Missy's old face. That's literally the feeling.
I think that it's gonna be something like that. I think it's gonna be like those '90s shows, not the '90s sitcoms. I think it's gonna be
I'm okay with that.
The grunge shows, like the Party of Five.
Yeah,
it wasn't grunge.
You know, but those like alternative, like I think it's gonna be more along
grunge.
those lines.
It was grunge. Don't fucking.
It wasn't grunge.
It was grunge.
It was not grunge. Just because there's plaid doesn't automatically mean it's grunge. What are you?
That's actually what it does mean.
That's that's not what
actually,
it means. There were. That's
one of the labels in the plaid.
You can't just say things.
I just say things to piss her off. Look how upset she gets, Mike. This is the funny thing.
I love how the approach was to say it with just such extreme confidence in that you're right. You're so confidently incorrect that it's like.
But that's what makes it funny.
He doesn't finish understanding is that he doesn't piss me off because he says stupid shit. What pisses me off is just the conviction.
That's why I say it that way.
Right?
Yeah.
You think I don't realize that? Of course I realize that.
2 + 2 is 5. What the fuck? Yeah. What are you, an idiot?
What are you? Please, you're gonna tell me?
You're gonna tell me 2 + 2 is 5.
You didn't even let me get through the joke. I was like, the label on the back of the fucking plaid shirt says grunge.
I heard it. It was a dumb joke.
Just straight up.
This is what she does when she gets angry because I got to her.
I will say that there was a definite attempt in all of those '90s shows to be presenting grunge characters, like when Nirvana and all of those songs, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, all those things. Suddenly, every show had a grunge character. They all did.
Probably, but
Saved by the Bell did. Remember, Tori came in with the
Tori. I was gonna say Tori,
but I would say that I would agree with. You're probably right, but I will say that that's not true for My So-Called Life, just because what they covered was out of context of the grunge area. It was like stuff still relevant today. In my opinion, I think that I fucking hate Gossip Girl because it's like, if you're going to relate to a show when you're going through your adolescence, whatever the fuck, like make it, in my opinion, make it realistic. And like, nobody's gonna live a Gossip Girl life, but shows like My So-Called Life are very much more relatable because I went to schools like that and I dealt with shit like that. And like,
but just because it's relatable doesn't mean it's not grunge. Those things are not.
Yeah, they're separate.
They're separate things.
I'm not
It could be a grunge show, but you're saying they're not a grunge show because they're more relatable. That's what you just said. And that
no, I'm saying that the grunge, like, what's the girl's name that you just mentioned from Saved by the Bell?
Tori.
She was an obvious like cut and paste.
Well, that show was an obvious cut and paste. Like that Saved by the Bell was like, we have the geek, the jock, the kook. Like,
oh my god, rest in peace, Screech.
Oh yeah,
Screech died.
He was kind of a dick to me, so I don't know. But
no, he was a real piece of shit, but he died. I mean, I'm just remembering, someone from that show died, but he didn't die of like drugs or anything like that. He died. He didn't get stabbed. He was in a porno.
No,
he did a bunch of shit.
Stabbed.
Oh, he stabbed somebody. That's right.
Yeah, and he went to jail on Christmas Day. Yeah.
And then he got diagnosed with cancer and was like dead, like so fast.
Yeah.
So fucked up.
But Missy's like, I don't give a fuck about this.
No, that's not what I said. It's not what I said. I'm like, that happens. I don't know.
I know it's true. That does happen. It's sad, but also like he was kind of a shitty person. This goes all the way back full circle to the Gina Carano thing of like, or having sex with someone because I made the joke about, again, because you usually don't find out how like people are presenting heightened versions of themselves at the beginning of relationships so much that only after a couple months of being together, weeks sometimes, but like a little time of being together, do you suddenly realize like, oh my god, is this girl racist? Has this girl been racist the whole time? Oh no! Now I have a judgment call
Everybody's
to
on
make.
their best behavior in the beginning, and then they, like, oh, they're not going anywhere, and they just kind of phase it out.
Right, because it's not about will you have sex with somebody for that or hook
If
up
you
with someone.
know,
If you know, it's do you continue to see somebody once you find out how bad they really are?
I was more like sexting because the relationship is an easy answer. No, right? You don't stay around
No.
a relationship with somebody who's racist. But the sexting is like, well, it's just like there's that in your, at least for guys, there's that logic of like, it's just,
I've been that for someone who was like, I was a pinch hitter. You know what I mean? Like I was a designated hitter for what it was, and I didn't really read into it too much. But they definitely we did not like each other. If that if that makes sense, like we didn't like it. We were just like,
yeah.
Oh,
that's what it was. Bring in
the
righty.
And then you get there and she's like, shh, don't talk. And you're like,
you're only gonna make it worse.
Let's get to Are You the Asshole? Let's get to Are You the Asshole?
Which one?
Yeah.
Do we do the Chewy?
I have. Oh man! First of all, that wasn't even Are You the Asshole? That was just a tweet that somebody tweeted, and it got crazy amount of likes. Read the tweet, Missy. I don't have the tweet in front of me.
Sure, give me a second.
Let me see if I can find. Oh, it was on Twitter, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
There was one that we saw. The most recent one, no thank you.
Confession. One time somebody nutted in my mouth and his semen was chewy. I held back tears. Now, tears because you were laughing or tears because you were crying?
No, tears because you're about to vomit.
That's what I thought. I immediately, that's where my mind went.
Sir,
to.
Yeah.
You need to get tested.
Well, I just think it was like backed up, right? I'm assuming that's what it was.
He was dehydrated. There's a
Oh, you came in with a medical. All right. Oh, all right.
Well, let me tell you.
Was comedy.
You gotta eat more celery, eat more pineapple, make it nice for the lady. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Be a gentleman.
Be a gentleman. Be a gentleman.
Picky up, motherfucker. Picky up.
Pinky up. Ew.
Pinky's out. Gonna be the new T-shirt from WuBro Studios. Pinky's out, and then the double.
I don't know.
Enough for 6 fingers, not 8.
Okay, what was? I'm trying to find the one that you sent me.
Vanessa is sick to her stomach.
Yeah. Well, I that was the one I did not want to talk about. There was an "Am I the Asshole" that you sent. We'll do this one. We'll do this one. Oh, yeah. The most recent one you just sent, Neri. Okay.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend I'm not looking at any more pictures until she puts on the purple dress I bought her?
That already sounds weird.
Okay. This one is very clearly going to lean one way, but I'm just curious to see
his logic.
Yes. Yeah. I bought my girlfriend a purple dress a while ago. She has not worn it once. Wait, she has. Oh, whatever. I asked her if there was something wrong.
You said it right.
Yeah. I asked her if there was something wrong with it, so I could return it. Did she not like it? Was it the color, the size, the design? What? She keeps saying that she's going to wear it, but she's waiting for the right moment. Today I decided was the right moment. One of her friends got right. Okay. One of her friends got, this is somebody who went on the internet to post to see if there were, it's just so funny. One of her friends got her a selfie stick for Christmas, and she's been using it to take sexy pictures of herself in different dresses to send to me when I'm almost getting off of work. I think I got her the purple dress before Christmas, but in every picture she's sent me so far, I have not seen her in the purple dress, not even once. When I came home, she asked me which of the pictures I liked the most, and I told her the one in the purple dress. She said, "What? What are you talking about?" And I told her, if you don't take a picture in the purple dress by Friday, don't send me any more pictures. She got mad and said I should appreciate her for even dressing up and sending sexy pictures to me when she didn't have to.
Facts.
And then he goes on to make some edits after some people who are making comments. Edit for those who keep saying I'm angry. I'm angry because I got the dress for her in December, and I told her to tell me if she didn't like it so I could return it and get a refund. She said she liked it, and now it's past the return date. I can't get a refund, and she still hasn't worn the dress.
Oh,
you wouldn't be angry too?
Now you seem like a cheap asshole at this point.
That's like he's like digging the hole. This is such an interesting look into like someone just digging a hole for themselves. And then edit again for those who keep saying the dress was a gift, right? Like that's out of your hands now. I hear what you're saying. But this wasn't that. This was a gift with definite conditions that she knew about. I bought her the dress and specifically told her to tell me if she didn't like it so I could return it within 30 days and receive a refund. Again, bringing up the refund. The 30 days passed and she kept reassuring me that she was going to wear it, but she was waiting for the right moment. I don't know what the fuck that means. And I'm out of patience because she's taking pictures of herself in every dress but that one. Now, is he the asshole?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Now we get into what kind of asshole.
Missy?
Okay. I will say this much. I saw the reverse equivalent of this happen in front of me, and it was just as infuriating, just like for the record. But this is a case where you're controlling.
Yeah.
And you're also cheap. And I don't know if this is a technical medical term, but I feel like you're like a punisher in that sense. It's like you beat it over somebody's head that they're not doing what you said you want them to do. And, fuck that. Because I feel like if maybe the right moment for her was fucking Valentine's Day, you dumb fuck. Or
yes.
Maybe it was...
there's so much wrong with this guy.
Well, hold on. Why are you throwing it in? A gift is a gift. Like, I'm not going to...
Oh, really? Yolanda Mercadal with the she's rude. Please elaborate because I'm curious. So I understand that she's like the concept, right? She don't like that fucking dress.
You don't like that fucking dress.
Yeah, let's go to the comments. What are the comments saying about this instant reaction? Let's see before we elaborate any further.
That was it. That was the two comments.
Oh, okay, good.
But I will say I can speak on this guy's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the reason why I can say that. I had an ex-girlfriend once who was not the most feminine of women. And I bought her a dress because admittedly I was trying to, fem her up a bit. Because we started dating in high school. This is not, I'm not saying I was right. Nick. By the way, I'm not saying I was right. Mm-hmm. Nowhere am I saying that this is acceptable behavior. Yes. But I'm just explaining to you the logic that I had high school Neri.
Like we're talking about you 20 years ago.
Literally 20 years ago. I'm 39 now, and this was when I was 18, 17 years old.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's why I said 20 years
ago. So we met in high school. She was a basketball player in the high school basketball team. And I like the fact that both of you are looking at me like red flag, red flag, red flag. But hey, this is the way I tell people all the time. When you're in high school and your girlfriend likes to play basketball, you think that's cool.
Because you're gonna play basketball together.
You're playing basketball together.
You share
whatever. You like wearing Jordans. I like wearing Jordans.
She likes golf. What could go wrong?
Again, the activity she likes has nothing to do with the fact that she was not into you.
Right. So, I mean, I don't want to say nothing. I do want to say there's a correlation of some kind, but whatever. Besides the point, we dated for years. I see a dress. We were actually on a cruise, and I buy her the dress, right? Because I'm hoping she would wear it. And I'm thinking to myself, if she wears it, maybe she likes the way she looks and likes the way she feels, and maybe she starts wearing more dresses, and maybe that would be like, oh, I didn't know what I mean, because everybody has one of those moments where like, you know what, I wasn't really a hat guy until I wore this hat, and I'm like, oh shit, I look good in hats, and I started buying more hats, and so on and so on. So we could all say that about everything. Mike, you and I have had this discussion about sunglasses, where I went my entire life without wearing sunglasses, and then 8 years ago, when we first started this podcast, I bought sunglasses for the first time. I'm like, I fucking like the way I look in sunglasses. Blah, 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 blah. Right. So I did that for the dress. Again, this isn't the greatest of things to do, but I bought that dress. Her and I had a spat. We had a million spats, but her and I had a spat around this time. And then where it was one of those things where we didn't know if we were gonna break up or not, or reality was I wanted to break up with her, but I didn't have the balls to. I didn't want to have the balls.
There's a lot of not having balls in this situation.
Yeah. And then come back 3 weeks later, let's say a month, who knows, but I don't think it was that long. But let's say 3 weeks later, I come back and I ask her about the dress, and she told me she gave it to her cousin because she was never gonna wear it anyway. And so I could speak to this guy's point of view. It was like, well, I bought you something so that you could wear it. And it's kind of hurtful that you don't want to wear it. Now, this guy, the difference is two things. One, the girl kept telling him, I like it, I like it, I like it. I never got that response, but I like it, I like it, I like it. I'm gonna wear it, I'm gonna wear it, I'm gonna wear it. And she just never did. And
Right.
two, this guy was way more adamant about it than I was. I just asked like once or twice. Like I wasn't even like that invested in the situation.
Yeah.
But he was asking about it consistently, and then now he brings up money multiple times. He brings up the refund and all this bullshit. And I'm with Missy on this one. This is his way of controlling her.
Yeah.
And not so much about what she wears, but of the fact that I bought this, so you're gonna fucking put this on because I
It's
bought.
not even about the dress. It's just
Yeah,
the
it's not the
fucking
dress.
principle that you're going in and you won't let it go, and you're berating this girl, and now you're like giving her receipts. Like I don't.
This is
understand.
a perfect example of, like you said, not having balls. What?
So Yolanda says he brought the dress as a gift. True, but she could at least try it on. I mean, shit, it's a free dress.
I got the impression that she did wear it. That he said that she has not worn it once, but then she said that she tried it on or whatever. Like there's I got confused at some point. Maybe I read it wrong, but I thought she wore it once, or she only wore it once. I guess she has not worn it.
No, she didn't wear it.
Yeah. So here's my thing. This is a guy. This feels real high school, because this is when you don't tell people how you feel and confront things directly. That's such a like a rookie move to like you said, when you were young and you didn't know how to handle this. Like if you would have been like, hey, I really would love to see you in this dress. I love you, and that's the thing. If you even don't want to be with this person, you shouldn't have been with her anyway. But the idea of like, hey, I really love this, I really would love for you to wear this for me. I think you would look beautiful in it, and I just want to see it. But it's entirely up to you. But if you don't like it, we can always return it. But I would love to see you in this, right? I think you would look great and super sexy and all that stuff. And then now you're complimenting her about how you imagine her to look, and how the positive aspect of what you want out of this, not the do what you're told, bitch. Like that kind of, know what I mean?
Because the context of what
that's how it sounds. Like
the end goal in both of those scenarios is for her to try. He wants her to try on the dress.
Yeah.
But in the scenario that you just described, that's like you're communicating something in a tender, affectionate, respectful way, whereas the first way feels like, well, you bought lobster for dinner, so we're not gonna fuck on the first date. Like that kind of vibe where like I paid for it, so why am I not getting a return on my investment? And the
only thing I can give him that is that if they are, let's say, financially strapped for cash, right, and this is gonna be a waste of however much money that dress, it might be something that he's fixated on. But then it's also like, you shouldn't have spent money. There's no. This guy's an asshole. I'm not saying he's not an asshole. I'm just saying in another situation where you give somebody a gift and it's like you had to dig deep to find the funds for it, and you want her, and then it's not appreciated, and then you feel like you're being lied to about, oh no, I love it. And then it's like, okay, well, that shit cost me my last $30, and I was trying to get you. I would much rather get you something that you really want, rather than you just be nice to me and I waste $30, because that was a very expensive thing.
So we got a lot of chatter on the.
Yeah, let's address them before.
Let's address what.
Can you after this one, can you throw up a Vanessa's comment?
I'm going to throw up all of the comments. I just want to address the comments. So Olivia says that it's a gift and that he's the asshole. Who the hell is he to tell her what to wear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jamila says she should at least entertain him with a pic. If she banged him one time and with that dress on, he would never mention it again.
Also true. His approach is fucking that up for him. Honestly, that manipulativeness is fucking it up because he could get that.
I agree. It's one of those things where you can't tell somebody, "Hey, buy me flowers" for no reason, because then if he does, he's not doing it for no reason. It's because you told him. So you can't. Now, how am I supposed to ever buy you flowers? Because now you've brought it up. I can't fucking do it without it being like, well, I had to tell you. Right. So he's doing it's the same thing.
It's a trap.
Yeah, it's the same effect that's happening. It's like, what if she wanted to fuck him on Valentine's Day with this dress? And
now you fucked it up.
Him bringing it up so often is like, well, I can't do what I wanted to do because you're so fucking insistent. So yeah, maybe Jamia has a counter. Yolanda agrees. I'm assuming with either Olivia or Jamia, and
well, that came after your wife's.
Hell yeah.
What did my wife rate? What did my wife's comment?
Your wife said, "Does the dress have pockets?" Apparently, that's a factor.
Where was it? I can't see that comment.
It's right above Yolanda's pockets. Are hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Does the dress have pockets? And then she says, "Yeah, pockets. Hell yeah." And
flowers. Blah.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's not about flowers or the dress or whatever. It's about something that you communicate that you like with each other.
Maybe
you know what I mean?
Like the dress because it didn't have pockets, Mike.
Maybe, but then he should have been paying attention.
Not to like something.
But no, man. Maybe whatever. That's the thing is that in a relationship,
you really take this serious. Like I'm just busting. Obviously, it's not because of the pockets, Mike. But you're like,
no. But I'm getting the bigger point because I'm talking about the bigger point of like the rules you establish in a relationship can be whatever the fuck you agree them to be. This could be. If this is an agreed upon thing, this feels super shitty. Like that is an emotionally controlling or very controlling person. It feels right.
She's not falling for it. She's not doing it.
So the thing is that if there's a way that you establish a method of communication that is not like detrimental, like that's not bad or whatever, like, but you're just whatever you establish, like whenever you hear like little nicknames that different couples have for each other and you're just like, what the fuck? But to them, that's how they express themselves.
Was it hot cocoa? Was it hot cocoa? What was the fucking comp? What was the bad name? Remember the original Am I the Asshole was like petting. It was an interracial couple. And then
yeah, white chocolate or something,
white or hot cocoa or some shit.
Yeah. But if it's established as agreed upon by both people, the people outside of the relationship might not get it. This guy's clearly going to Reddit, so he's an asshole. He's an asshole. I'm saying he's an asshole. But in the bigger picture, if you like, you know, because she could have very easily said, "A surprise is coming. And if you keep hassling me about the dress, you're not going to get the surprise." And it could have been the Valentine's Day thing. It could have been the special occasion. Maybe she's taking a bunch of pictures. She's printing out a little book for him as a gift, or like there's a million different reasons.
Write that down.
There's no reason not to do that. You can take boudoir photos. You get the sexy picture like George Costanza from Seinfeld when he's on the couch. Get a portrait made.
I was gonna say my wife did that for me, but then you brought up the fucking George Costanza thing, and I'm like, well, you just ruined it.
Yeah, your wife did the George Costanza thing for you.
That's exactly what she did.
Yep.
Yeah, pockets in the dress is life changing. It really is. It is,
but not. And I wonder if this is a scenario. Like this is one scenario. Like this guy has to be a fucking nightmare to deal with. Maybe she's her own mess too. I'm not gonna like make it one sided, but based on this scenario, how he presented it, he has to be a fucking nightmare to deal with. So
if you don't take a picture in the purple dress by Friday, don't send any more pictures.
I like that this guy's saying that, and I'm like, meanwhile, there are dudes that are like me, they're like, please just send one picture. Just one picture. Why can't you just send one picture? Like, oh, please, God help me.
What a greedy fuck. He's been sent a bunch of sexy pictures. Like, and that's the thing. There's specifically sexy pictures of herself in different dresses to send to me.
When I'm almost to begin with. Like, she didn't have to send those pictures to begin with.
You're too good for him, girl. You're too good for him. You fucking leave out of there. You don't need this shit in your life. Read the other Am I the Asshole? This is unanimous. He's the asshole. He probably doesn't give fucking stuffed Pokemon to kids on their birthdays. This guy's the asshole.
Did you send
another one? Where did gonna
Whoa.
do that.
I tagged you in a couple
Okay.
of the different ones on Twitter, on the Twit.
Oh.
On the Twitter machine.
Yeah, but I get so many. I'm just so popular on Twitter. I'm just no. Okay. Oh. This one is great. The leftovers one.
I mean, I tagged you in a couple. I don't read
Okay.
these. I just read the title and go, "This would be good," because I want to get the reaction live when we do it on the podcast.
I enjoyed this one because it is very obviously it's another obvious one, but I love just like people will go to the internet and defend themselves like okay. Am I the asshole for going home because my girlfriend wanted me to eat leftovers? But stick with it. Okay. This is a 25-year-old male and a 26-year-old female, have separate places, but she always wants me to come and stay with her. I do most times, even though my place is actually closer to where my job is. When I was getting off work, she called me and asked me to come over, and I asked her what she had cooked. She said she hadn't made anything and she was too tired to cook, but she has some leftovers. Then he does that stern face emoji, that with the eyes that are horizontal lines.
Girl.
Yeah, the face. And so I said, never mind, don't worry about it. I'ma just head home. And then she got mad and said, "Oh, so you'll only come over because I cook for you? You don't want to spend time with me?" And I said, "I do, but I'm hungry and my place is closer. I don't want to waste gas and money driving all the way over there just to eat leftovers." And then this is him talking to the Reddit people. Am I right? If I'm going to eat leftovers, I might as well just do it at my place. And I did. But then she kept sending me screenshots of her group chat bashing me. But those are her friends, so I'm not gonna take them seriously. But I want to hear what you guys think objectively. This is what I love about how clueless these people. Let's Tarantino from the back forward. He went to Reddit because he wants to know what you guys think. But yeah, fuck her friends who are bigger and more important in her life than you are. You know, they've probably been around longer than you. It's so funny.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? He could have played this very differently and be like, "I'm really tired and I'm just gonna go home and get something to eat and just go to sleep." He could have played it off that way.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had a hard day. Whatever.
But he could have just said, "Oh, what do you? Oh, I have leftovers," and he could have been like, "Honestly, I'm just really tired and I just want to go to sleep because I had a long day at work and blah blah blah." He could have played it off that way.
But he asked first. He asked, "What you cook?" What you got there for me?
Yeah, what you got there? And then
me, asshole, me, your girlfriend.
Yeah, leftovers. The funny thing to me is that he said, "I don't want to eat leftovers." Right? Like that was the first thing before he turned to camera. What was it that he said? What was it that he said?
He's like, "I was too tired," but she said she hadn't made anything and was too tired to cook, but she had some leftovers.
And then he looked at the camera and said, "What?"
I said, "Never mind, don't worry about it. I'ma just head home."
Yeah. So the funny thing is, I was like, but don't like. Here's the thing: sex drives me everywhere. Like sex, that's the first go to. It's like, yeah, you have food, whatever. Like that's even though I'm fat, I'm just like we're gonna have sex, and then we'll worry about food after this. Like that's how I'm thinking, right? Like I'm not. But so to me, if she would have been like, "Hey, we're not gonna have sex today. I'm on my period," or whatever the fuck reason, we're not gonna have sex today. Do you want to come over? I would have been like, "Oh, I don't know about that." Like that's no, that's a hard pass on that one. But he went with the food thing and was like, "You're not gonna have fucking." I don't know, man.
Yeah, I feel like there's bigger problems than just leftovers.
What I will say is this: if the problem was the leftovers and she didn't cook, there was an option for him to cook for himself at her house, I'm assuming. Like, I don't think it's a thing
yeah, he could go over there and cook for her.
Pick up some shit and some stuff and go over there and cook yourself some fucking dinner. Though I think what really
I'm gonna get some Taco Bell for us then, baby. Let's do it.
I think
Vanessa said more leftovers for me.
I think what annoys him more is
you gotta stop popping up the comments while we're talking.
I'm sorry, I did it. I went to unclick that one because the more.
Oh my god, it's so frustrating, so distracting.
All right.
I think what this guy is really pissed about is not that he has to eat leftovers again, is that she won't cook. And that is a very Mad Men issue to have in this day and age, because if you're hungry and the objective of you to go to, like, if the deal breaker was leftovers and you're hungry, you could very easily cook yourself something. Pick up a frozen pizza and throw it in there. What's the problem? You're gonna eat.
He 100% doesn't like this girl.
He doesn't like her enough.
100%.
I don't know if he doesn't like her. I think that he doesn't like her as much as he's like, it's further away, gas. Like, he's putting all that math.
Yeah, so he doesn't like, what the hell? What are you talking about?
So it's not necessarily that he doesn't like her, but he just doesn't like her that much. It's like whatever
that's not enough, dude.
Isn't that like, he's mad about the leftovers that she won't cook? Like, that was a very demanding thing, that she's gonna have leftovers again.
Yeah.
No,
like,
I think if she would have said, I don't know if that's the case, to be honest. I think maybe because I'm thinking about me, if she would have said, I don't have anything, but I'll order something by the time you get here, I think he would have gone. Right? Is it just me?
No,
I think he's putting that into the equation of like gas and tolls and time.
I don't think, but even then, man, like, I don't understand, like, why are people with people they don't like? Like
that could be it. I mean, I think we're running out of time.
Like, but that's the thing. Like, every time I see something like this, like, this dude clearly does not like her. Like, this girl is like just asking him to come over and spend some time with her. They're dating. He says he says my girlfriend, and he's like, "Am I the asshole for going home because my girlfriend wanted me to eat leftovers?" That's not what she wanted. No, she was just like, "Haha, I'm gonna get him to eat my leftovers." You know, like, that's not what she wanted. This guy is so far off the mark that it's like so frustratingly obtuse. Like, and then he goes, and my favorite is that there is a straight up group chat of people going like, "Leave this man." Like, fuck, like, there's probably like a million people like, fuck this.
That was her foul, though. Like, that's a stupid move on her part. What the fuck? What is he gonna care? I've never met a man that's like, oh, your friends hate me? Oh, man, I gotta get my shit together. I've never met anyone like that. So I think that was her fucking fuck up. What?
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I care about because her friends are very, not her meaning my wife, her meaning any girl,
your partner,
you're dating, their friends are very influential in what she thinks and what she feels about you.
Yeah, and absolutely.
You guys, yes.
I think your assumption is wrong.
Yeah, listen, I'm telling you right now, I've been in plenty of situations where I get into an argument with somebody, with the person I'm with, and their friends have my back. And that's what you need as a guy. You need somebody on the inside. And if you're not playing that, if you're not thinking that way, if you think I don't give a fuck what her friends think, then you don't give a fuck about the future. Because you got to play it all. And same thing with,
I guess I've never had to think about it from that perspective.
And it's just like the family. I don't give a fuck what her parents think about me. Oh, you should.
You should.
You
okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
You very well should, because she will defy her friends and she will defy her family if she wants to. But when push comes to shove, those are the people that when you get into a fight with them, like if I'm dating somebody who doesn't get along with their friends or doesn't have a lot of friends, and she's with me, that's fine, that's one thing. But if I get into an argument with her, the first person she's going to go to is either going to be friends or family, and you want those people on your fucking team. You want
at the very least, providing the opportunity for a reasonable conversation.
Like objective. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you have to.
Okay,
let's go to the comments real quick. Yolanda says it's good. It's a good thing that they live in separate places.
Yeah, now they don't have to move out when they break up.
Jamia says, "Fuck that."
Fuck that in what sense, though?
I don't know what he said. I don't know. I'm just trying to say. I'm sure he said, "Oh, fuck that." Like, I'm sure that that's as you were telling the story. He says you could bring them over to my house. Apparently he loves leftovers. He could have ordered food, says
yes. Good point.
That's what I was saying. I was like, you could have ordered food. If she would have said I'll order food, I don't think it would have been the
but no. He could have also been like, fine, I'll come over and I'll order food.
You're right.
He's very demanding.
She could have
offered to
order food.
Yeah.
Very
well, I've done
entitlement.
I did this one time where I ordered food roughly around the time that I was going to get to this girl's place. So I showed up with food that had been like I met the delivery guy
For one.
outside.
Yeah, you did
For
a
one.
smart.
What?
For one or for both of you?
No, yeah, I just ordered food for myself and ate it in front of
I
her.
don't. I'm asking. What if it was one of those things where you order food, you're on your way home, and the girl goes, "Hey, I'm
He
gonna
shows up
in
with
your
a
house,"
Happy Meal.
and you're like,
Hell yeah.
That's what I was thinking about. I was like, what if I order food, and then after I order food for me, thinking it's gonna be one night at home, the girl calls and be like, "Hey, I'm coming over your house," and you're like, "Oh, well, this is gonna be awkward because I just got food."
Oh, I mean, I have ordered. I have picked up stuff on the way to someone, not a girl, but like someone's house that they had already ordered. It, like, oh, we ate already. We don't really have any food here. Do you know pick something up on the way? And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. And I've done that before, but this was very specifically for me to show up and be the hero, and so she didn't have to cook.
Yeah,
like,
you were trying to do it like a move. A nice
yeah,
move.
but it was because I liked the girl and I wanted her to like me. You know, like this guy is clearly, yeah. He deserves the. I do think it's funny that she was sending him screenshots of the group chat. She should have just stopped talking to him. You know, like just.
I think now that I rolled over on my original assumption, I feel like the better strategy there is like, I wouldn't want to. That feels like badgering. That's like, oh look, I just don't think that that's necessary. And if you're having an argument with somebody,
she's trying to let him know how wrong he is. Like,
yeah,
look,
if you're trying to have an argument,
you see how you're crazy, right? You know, like that kind of thing.
If you're having an argument with somebody, that's not the moment to go. And my friends think I'm right too. Like now you're trying to like.
That's true.
Gang up on him, and I don't think that's right either. Like, if the argument is between the both of you, then leave it there. Why are you like trying to badger him with like? And my friends think you're an asshole too. Like, I don't think that's necessary.
I would be pissed. I would genuinely.
That's not.
You're not thinking straight when you're mad though.
Let's go back to the comments. Hold on. Olivia says, "What a dumbass. Leftovers are great."
Yeah.
She also says, "Oh, he could have cooked for her." Let's not get crazy.
That's another one of those.
Jamia says, "Note to self: Neri's a sucker for sex." Oh wait, we knew that already.
I mean, you are, if anything, consistent, my friend.
Vanessa says, "Is this the purple dress guy's brother?" Very good question. Because it's
the same guy.
They're both idiots.
Exactly.
And Olivia says, "Damn right, that's what friends are for." Yeah, I agree. I think you're right, Missy. She shouldn't have brought up the friends thing, but I think maybe again not the right time to do it. But I think the logic would be like, "Hey, this is wrong. Look, other people are backing me up on this. Like I asked my friends and they're wrong or whatever the fuck." She could have very easily said it like that, and then the way he presented it to Reddit was, she's sending me screenshots of her friends bashing me.
Probably.
So, but I don't think that's a bad thing either. Like, oh, I think you're wrong. I'm not wrong. Well, my friends seem to think you're wrong too. Like that type of shit could have.
Yeah, but I don't think it's necessary in the heat of the moment.
You're right.
No, it's absolutely not necessary. You're absolutely right. But people are also like, when they're in emotionally heightened states, are not being rational. That's the whole point of irrationality, is that you're not going to get the desired result from the action. If you would have thought it through, you wouldn't have done the action, but you didn't think it through. So that's where we're at. I think that I think this is very kind of like, I think it's very gaslighty, like him trying to convince her that she's crazy for expecting him to come over, that she has like, it's very that like machista.
Don't be demanding. Don't be entitled to that shit. Like, come on, you're still dating, like it, and all of this shit is a privilege. No worries.
I wonder how many girlfriends he has. I wonder if because he turned down sex. Clearly, she wanted to.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Like it's
so get late.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was about to say, like, this is like, to me, does not make sense.
It's not about the leftovers.
You're turning down sex. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Leftovers is a euphemism, and he didn't catch on.
Like, well, that pussy's been already. That's a leftover pussy. Like, it's so ridiculous. It's the same thing as the purple dress guy. It's like you have a woman voluntarily sending you sexy pictures of her, and you're fucking saying, if you don't fucking put the dress on that I buy you, no more pictures. Like, are you out of your you're so fucking greedy. You're so dumb. You're so what's the word I'm looking for? Ungrateful. You're such an ingrate because she's doing you a favor. She doesn't have to take sexy pictures of herself and send them to you.
She doesn't have to cook for you either.
She doesn't have to cook for you. She doesn't even have to offer you fucking leftovers. She's offering you her fucking company, you sack of shit. Fucking take it and shut the fuck up. Have a Coke and a smile and bounce. Like you're so fuck. Ooh, my house is closer to my job. Does your house have vagina in it? Then shut the fuck up. Like
it
so
might.
Weird.
Here's the thing.
So
this is not this guy's only girlfriend, or he thinks he's got other options. He does not. This is I always say that a successful relationship is one that ends when it should. Because this should not be happening. This relationship, somebody turning down sex and leftovers, which is like the perfect evening.
The perfect evening.
Nobody's cooking nothing. The kitchen doesn't smell like food. You just get to eat the delicious leftovers and have the delicious sex.
I don't have to wait for the food. I don't even have to wait for it to be delivered. It's fucking there already.
It's there. This motherfucker's like, ugh, groceries. What do I got? I got nothing in this kitchen but ingredients. Gross. Ugh. Bro, I gotta prepare my food. Oh my god! What a dumbass!
What a fucking! I'm sorry. My whole logic is my whole thought train.
Sex based.
First about like it's you. She's inviting you for her, and again, I say this romantically. She's inviting you for her company, dude.
Her company, yeah.
You are fucking. You are literally being invited for her company, and you're turning down her company because of leftovers, and that's such a stupid fucking thing to do.
He's just not that into you or whatever. Like, remember that shit from like 10 years, 20, 15 years ago?
Yeah, you want to watch the movie, it's in my account.
Every guy on the planet knows of a certain time where they fucking went a super long distance or a super fucking difficult road traveled just to get laid. We've all done that where we're like, I'm gonna fucking blah blah blah. Like
I've done it. I've done it in a way that's being in New York. It starts to sound like when your parents used to tell you how they walked. I had to do it in a snowstorm, uphill, both ways. I've sacrificed to get. I rode a train for an hour and a half.
If she's too tired to cook, she was too tired to have sex. Yolanda, those words don't make sense to me.
Those
words don't even.
It does not compute.
The logic of too tired to have that doesn't compute to me. And again, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying personally, for me, I have never been that tired to say no to sex. Ever have I been that tired? I mean, you know, we were talking about the Super Bowl earlier. Last year, I went to the Super Bowl. After the Super Bowl ended, which is again, you're fucking walking and blah blah. I clocked in over 20,000 steps that day. After the Super Bowl ended, there was still an hour and a half of walking back to my car because the fucking traffic was so bumper to bumper. We parked far away, and so we like literally walked an hour and a half of walking. Got back home at midnight. The game ended like at 10. Got back home like at 12:30 at midnight, and I was still like, "Hey, you want to have sex?" My team had just lost. I was emotionally beat up. I was like all this, and
comfort me.
There was still no
comfort me.
Yeah, there was still no like I'm too tired for sex. Those words don't compute to me, Yolanda. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, we're just gonna show the rest of the comments, and then we're gonna end it. We gotta go. You can make other things with the leftovers. You get a brand new meal.
Solid logic.
Neri went to the Super Bowl. My wife did not know the Super Bowl. Yolanda says we don't
gross
either.
Hey, that's my stepmom and my dad.
I was gonna say, Mike, she's banging your dad. And then Olivia says, I would still have sex. You see, we're not the only ones. All right. You guys have been great. Thank you guys for checking us out. Check out Mike's other podcast, Oh the Cubanity. Available on the Missing Sock.
Yeah,
I got it. Missing Sock Network. Check out Missy's writing at missywrites.com, or her handle on Twitter and Instagram is Missy the Writer, as you can see on screen. And check out Mike's other podcast called Mike Contextualizes the Universe, where he goes through all the MCU movies. And then check out my podcast called Neri Contextualizes Mike Contextualizing the Universe. It's still gonna happen.
You better fucking do it one day.
I would love that so much. So make sure you guys. Oh, Mia, great show as always. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Check it
out. If you are listening to us on the audio version, make sure you follow us, our Facebook page, WuBro Pod, or our YouTube page, WuBro Pod, WuBropod. We are live on video, so you can see us and all the comments, and you can like if you've been listening audio wise, all these comments that everybody's popping up, we're reading them because they're listening to us live, they're watching us live, and they're commenting live, so we could address those comments live.
The chat comes from Facebook though, right? You have to be on the Facebook
and YouTube. If Alex Lobo was on the YouTube channel the last time we did Geek More, and it was like, it's so funny because this time
cool technology, baby.
Everybody here today was on Facebook, and it's so funny because we did a Geek More episode where I was like, is Facebook not working? Because everybody was YouTube. And it shows you like when you put somebody's comment up, it'll show you like the little YouTube logo or the Facebook logo. So check it out. If you're listening to us audio version, check us out live on Facebook or YouTube, and like our pages. Everything is on the bio. Go to the Instagram bio, and everything's on there. Check us out, geekbro.net. And check us out for the other podcasts on the Geek Bro Network, including Pero Let Me Tell You, Mount Geekmore, and of course Mike Valdez's podcast. I forget that.
Childlike at Best. You forget it every time.
Best is Mike Valdez, and don't forget Adosa Valley. You guys been great. God bless you guys. Good night. Have a good one. Peace.